All right, let me move on, and I want to move on to the information that we got this week that Devin Nunes on House Intel has apparently made it clear that he believes that the dossier, that fake make-believe dossier paid for by the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign was part of the application for the FISA warrant, and therefore suggests real clear abuse of government surveillance by the FBI and the Justice Department.
The dossier was a bogus document. We know that between the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign, there was more than $10 million that flowed into hiring a foreign agent, something that's against the law. They need to look into a guy named Mark Elias, who was the general counsel for the DNC and was involved in the Clinton campaign and had ties to the Podesta group. The Podesta tie into this has not gotten much attention.
Right.
You have to look at that, and then you have to look at what sort of verification did they put into this document? Did the FBI itself pay and reimburse for part of this? Non-verified then goes and takes this as the impetus to spy on Americans, i.e. the Trump administration. And so I'm telling you, Devin Nunes, Trey Gowdy, Mike Conaway, Tom Rooney out of Florida, they're right in the heart of this. It has taken months for the Department of Justice to provide these documents. They had to threaten a subpoena, get the speaker involved. That ought to be a flashing red light to everybody, but they got something to hide. But now that supposedly they're going to turn over these documents, again, I think the world is going to see what really happened here.
Okay, so let's assume that this fake dossier that was paid for and that's full of absurd allegations against the president was created for the purpose of bringing in that FISA surveillance and, of course, as part of the document. Why don't we have the application for the warrant? Who do we have to go to get the application for the warrant?
Well, look, it was Jim Jordan in the House Judiciary Committee that asked the Attorney General, asked Rod Rosenstein, the number two.
Well, they don't want to give it to us.
Do they know? Will they provide that?
They said no.
They won't.
Right,
and that's just,
so
that's not the way our government works.
My viewers want to know. Now, where do we go? Now, how do we find out? Enough of this stuff. Enough of going on and on over this thing. Let's find out what the application for the FISA warrant looks like. Who can give us that? Is there anyone other than Sessions and Christopher Wray and the FBI?
You have to have Mitch McConnell and the Speaker themselves, as long as with the chairman of the committees, Devin Nunes, Bob Goodlatte, Trey Gowdy, and in the Senate, Senator Grassley, to actually grow a spine and do their job and hold this administration accountable. It's a Republican administration. I get it. But it was the same thing in the Democratic administration. There is a deep state that is well seated, and they have got to extract the material. And until they hold down their foot, hold these people to fire, hold people in contempt, have votes on the floor of the House, and actually go out and sue people and insist that this happens, it's just going to flail along.
Congressman, this is crazy. These people shouldn't get a salary unless they're doing their job. They shouldn't be able to move anything until they move what is possibly the most corrupt attempt, an effort to stop a candidate for president of the United States by the FBI and the Department of Justice. These people have to go. I'm just go over this every week, and every week I don't know any more than I did the week before. If it weren't for the Hill, if it weren't for people like Tom Fitton and some of these organizations that are seeking the freedom of information, we wouldn't know a thing because the establishment is in bed with the rest of the establishment. Am I wrong? Tell me.
Subpoenas that come from Congress, the Department of Justice doesn't pay attention to them because the only way that Congress can enforce that subpoena is through the Department of Justice. That needs to change. The only thing that the administration seems to be afraid of are the courts, because the courts can incarcerate and they can fine. And there's got to be an expedited way for Congress to actually get to the courts. That's why Tom Fitton, and I pat him on the back, and Judicial Watch have such great success, as they get before a judge